Hi guys, welcome to youtube.com/Adam McKola. I am Adam. This is another MUFC transfer talk, a special Friday night live stream for you guys. It might be Saturday if you haven't watched this live, but whatever it is, I hope you guys are well at home. I am Adam. If this is your first time ever being on the channel, then where have you been? But never mind that. We have regular Manchester United content, football content. We got World Cup content coming up for you, and much more as well as these regular live MUFC transfer talk streams. Remember, the shows are sponsored by OneFootball, the fantastic football app, which is absolutely free. It's available on your Android, it's available on your Apple. The link is in the description below. You download that app, you get football news, transfer rumors, transfer news, live scores, score updates, all that good stuff, player stats as well. They'll have loads going on during the World Cup. Make sure you click that button and download the app today. Make sure you're doing that right now. But first things first, we have got to talk about Manchester United potentially being back in for Fabinho, as well as an update on the FRED transfer, because FRED has been speaking about the potential transfer to Manchester United. So lots to talk about today. I hope you guys are all good. Let's get stuck into that now. The Fabinho talk is coming from Mohamed Bouhafsi, who works in France as a reporter. Now, me personally, I don't know how reliable this guy is. What do you guys know about this chap? Is he very reliable or not? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this guy. But Mohamed Bouhafsi has reported that Manchester United have opened negotiations with Fabinho for a contract, well, with Monaco for the transfer of Fabinho. So Manchester United potentially could be back in for this chap. Now, this one does feel a little bit like it's going towards a Gaetan Schneider kind of thing. There's been a couple of transfer windows now where we have been in, like, you know, believed to be in talks for this chap. Monaco came out and said they held him at the club against his will last summer. So it seemed he wanted to leave then. If they're coming out and saying that now, it seems likely he could leave. But the thing that makes me doubt these rumours in regards to Fabinho coming to Manchester United is the fact that up until today, Fabinho has been linked with Atletico Madrid. Fabinho has been linked with Atletico Madrid in terms of a transfer. So because of the fact that Fabinho has been linked with Atletico Madrid, that makes me a little bit worried in terms of the fact that Manchester United may be being used here as a little bit of a club that can help drive Fabinho's price up, drive his contract offer up maybe, because if Atletico Madrid are at the negotiation table for Fabinho, and we're hearing that, you know, Manchester United are in for him as well. Manchester United are negotiating for him. Mohamed Bouhafsi has said we haven't made an offer for him yet. So we haven't got as far as making an offer. We're just negotiating. So that leaves the wiggle room there for those negotiations with Monaco and Atletico Madrid, that if they are negotiating, they can use that to put some pressure on them. So there is that possibility, and I definitely wouldn't get excited about this one yet. Let's wait and see if this one develops a little bit more, if there's any more talk about Fabinho potentially joining Manchester United. Let's wait and see how this one develops. But if we were to sign Fabinho, who can play at right back, who can play at defensive midfield, I think it would be an absolute stroke. We know Antonio Valencia can no longer play, as we don't want him to be playing regularly as much as he did this season. I love Tony V, puts in a lot of effort. He's been a decent player for United, but we can't have him playing week in, week out. We just can't have that anymore. And if we've got an option there like Fabinho, who's also covering in that midfield as well, then that would be great. Of course it would be great. I'll get some stats up for Fabinho's season from the OneFootball app. So let me just go to that app right now on my phone. I've already got it, you see. So you guys check it out. Make sure you're checking that out. Remember, later on we're going to talk about FRED, because he's been speaking about a potential move to Manchester United. Now, the Brazilian Fabinho isn't going to the World Cup. He isn't going to the World Cup. He did play in the Champions League this year. He played in Ligue 1 as well. He had a very good pass accuracy of 86%, an average of 73 touches per match. He played in 34 of the 38 league games. He got 7 goals and 3 assists, which is decent for a defensive midfielder. I mean, if he was coming in and replacing Carrick's role in the team, someone that sat there in the midfield. Carrick never used to get 7 goals a season. So that would be a very good kind of return for one of those kind of players. He wins 56% of his tackles, 68% of his aerial duels, 61% of his total duels. He wins as well. And as I said, his pass accuracy is 86%. So this chap is a pretty decent player, I think. 24 years old as well. So he obviously has got a lot of space for improvement. And that's a big point as well. We get worried about Jose Mourinho signing too many older players. But this guy seems to be of the right age also. So I think this Fabinho transfer could be a decent one for Manchester United if we could pull it off. I assume we could get a knockdown fee because of the fact that they held him against his will last season. But as I said, just bear in mind that Atletico Madrid have been linked with him for ever since the season ended, I think. And if those talks are ongoing, Manchester United's name could be just chucked out there in order to culminate more money and more offers from Atletico Madrid. So let's just relax with this one on Fabinho, although we know it would be a great signing. And imagine if United managed to sign 2 Brazilians, Fabinho and Fred, to come in that central midfield area. We're losing Carrick, we're losing Marouane Fellaini. Obviously, I know some of you guys, even myself personally, I think it's time to let Marouane Fellaini go. But we still have to replace those guys in the midfield. And bringing in 2 quality players is exactly what we need. If we could get them wrapped up early in the transfer window, even better. We hear about Fred. We know he's going to the World Cup with Brazil, but he's on international duty in England up until then, and potential for United to do any contract talks, medicals, etc. at that point. But we haven't yet got to that stage. And Fred has been talking, and he's confirmed that not only did Manchester City come in for him in January, but also ever since then, there was news on Thursday of a strong bid by Manchester United, and that has come from the mouth of Fred. BBC are now reporting this too. This is what he said. There was possible transfer to City shortly after both clubs, City and United, talked with Shakhtar and with my agents about a possible transfer. If I am not mistaken, there was news on Thursday of a strong bid by United. He did go on and say, I'm focused solely on the World Cup. My agents are taking care of this. It's an honour to be on the radar of great European coaches. I have a versatility on the pitch. I'm a multi-skilled player, able to play in both midfield positions. I believe some coaches need that with their team. So that is Fred talking himself up about potential move from Shakhtar Donetsk to England. He obviously hasn't ruled out Manchester City there, but the talk from Di Marzio, from others, Manchester Evening News, Guardian, etc., they're all coming out and saying that Manchester United are in discussions for Fred. We've had a €50 million offer, which some say has been accepted. So we'll wait to see how this one develops as well. But Fred has now been coming out and talking about a potential transfer to Manchester United, which is what you want to hear really from a player that you're being linked with, and we're wondering, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? What's going to go on here? Is Fred going to join Manchester United? And now he's coming out and saying, you know what, they're in for me. I believe there's talks. I believe there's this, that going on. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear United are being active in the market. We want to get business done early. We want to get things wrapped up before the World Cup. If we can get Fred done, you know, before he leaves for the World Cup, we can get Fabinho done around the same time. Let's say we were actually in at the table for him, then that would be a great start to our business. Focus on a left back, maybe another Brazilian coming in Alexandro. There's 3 of the players that we need, and then United can relax a little bit for the rest of the summer. And one thing I always say Jose Mourinho is very good at is getting transfers wrapped up early in the transfer window. Very rare that Jose Mourinho is going into the latter stages with none of his business done. He usually has most of it done, and then he's going into the latter stages looking for that one player or that one bonus player. And I've got a feeling it will be the same again this transfer window. We need to close that gap between Manchester United and Manchester City. They're going to improve. We need to improve. We need to be challenging for this league title. And in order to do that, we need to improve our squad. Players coming in, players going out. I don't think we'll sign 6, 7, 8 players. I think we'll sign maybe 4, possibly 5, depending on how many leave. But the fact that we're into this discussion already, It's great to hear from Manchester United, and I will recap all that talk for you guys as well. The talk in relation to Fabinho is coming from Mohamed Bouhafsi, the French reporter for RMC. He's came out and said that Manchester United are in discussions with Monaco for Fabinho, but no offer has yet been made. But what I am saying is, let's not get carried away by this. I don't really know too much on this chap's reliability. You guys can let me know in the comments below. I don't know too much on his reliability, but what I have also read is, and I read a few days ago, is that Atletico Madrid were in talks with him. And if that's true, then we could be being used as a temptation for other bigger offers. So we need to be careful a little bit. Let's not get carried away, although the talk is very, very good at the moment. As for Fred himself speaking, it's on the BBC website, it's on the Sky Sports website, it's covered pretty much everywhere. Fred has come out and confirmed discussions have been ongoing since January. He had discussions with Manchester City. There's been discussions with Manchester United, which escalated on Thursday, which is yesterday, if you're watching this live. And obviously, it's in the hands of his agents. He's focusing on the World Cup. But he has confirmed that as well, which is great to hear. 316 says Bouhafsi is like the French Damasio, which, if true, is obviously good news for Manchester United. Utkarsh, away from the transfers, says thoughts on Rory McIlroy. I saw that video earlier where he was saying he wants Liverpool to win the Champions League. I thought he was a Man United fan. No Man United fan should want Liverpool to be winning the Champions League. No way, Jose. Dom, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for getting your comments in. 316, thank you. Rehab says that means Milinkovic-Savic is over. Obviously, Damasio did say we were interested in Milinkovic-Savic, but we're bulking at the fee a little bit. And it does look like if we were to sign Fabinho and Fred, you would think those dreams of us getting, some dreams, I haven't got any dreams of us signing Milinkovic-Savic. I think he's a fantastic player, but do I dream of us signing him? No, I don't. Yeah, it looks like those dreams for some of you guys could be over if that is the case. Connor Wake, thank you very much for getting your comment in. My day has been well. He loved the latest video and keep up the good work. Hashtag road to 100k. Thank you very much, Connor. Yes, we're on that road to 100k. We've nearly hit 51,000, which is great. We only just hit 50,000. So absolutely fantastic effort by everybody. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, sharing, hitting that link below as well for the One Football app. It's absolutely free on your Androids and your Apples. And it looks like at this moment, Fred could be on his way into Manchester United, but also Fabinho, if you believe the reports from Mohamed Bouhafsi. I'm going to answer some more of your questions, but I'm also going to plug a video that I uploaded this morning. It's a new summer-long series, which will be going for the transfer window. Maybe I'll do it during the January transfer as well, but it's going to be going for this summer, and it's called the MUFC Rumour Rater. Stole the title a little bit, but who cares? Do what I want. But yeah, MUFC Rumour Rater, I'm doing that. TFR did a Rumour Rater, but it wasn't based on Man United. And I'll be taking every week a selection of rumours and rating them on a rating of 1 to 5 and how likely I think they'll be happening. And I discussed lots in the latest episode. So after we're finished here, why don't you go and check that out? We've got around 100 likes, 450 people watching. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Simon Cowie says, Adam, Fabinho, Fred, next. Sandro, is it a Brazilian revolution at Manchester United this summer? Are we going to get loads of Brazilians in? Nick Sparta, thank you for your comment. Tom Talbot says, would you keep Smalling and Jones or sell them? I would sell at least one of them, and if I was going to sell one of them, personally, it'd be Smalling. Although I know Jones was awful in that FA Cup final. I do think when Jones is fit and he plays, he does usually play better than Smalling, but of course more recently Smalling has been playing better than him, but they're both not good enough in my honest opinion. They're both not good enough. M.A. Khan says, do you think Pogba is staying? I do think Paul Pogba is going to stay. I have no doubts he'll be at Manchester United next season. Of course, anything can happen, and I could look like an absolute dickhead if he was to leave, but I do think Paul Pogba will remain at Manchester United. Hasibul, thank you for liking the video. I appreciate you very, very much. Nick says, would you get in a right winger? Now, it depends on, like, me personally, I think improving at fullback, both fullbacks, improving at central midfield, allowing Paul Pogba to be freed up, in turn would improve the performances of Martial's, Rashford, Sanchez's, Pogba, Lukaku, Lingard, Mata, etc. That's how I feel. But when you look at the team, we are a little bit imbalanced. I do think Sanchez ideally would be playing out on the right with Lingard as a backup, and Lingard coming in, because Lingard can play through the middle as well and on the left. But like, I wouldn't mind seeing Sanchez moved over to the right and then use that left side for Martial, Rashford, as we did between the start of the season and January. But we don't know what Jose Mourinho is going to do. So a right winger wouldn't surprise me. But I wouldn't probably not buy any attacking players, because people complain about the minutes that Rashford, Martial get, me particularly. So buying more attackers, does that make sense to anybody? I'm not too sure. Fred the Red, says Dave. We need 2 midfielders, says Dom. Fizzy says, who do you think will be United's biggest signing this summer, and which position needs strengthening most? Says Fizzy Chowdhury. I think midfield and fullbacks are the positions that need strengthening most. If I had to pick one of those, I'd go with fullback. But we do need more in midfield as well. More numbers, definitely. But we need another kind of midfielder. If we're going into the season with Matic, McTominay, Pogba, Herrera, potentially Pereira or Fosu Mensah, whatever, we need one more in there, or potentially 2. And if Fabinho and Fred can come in, Fabinho plays right back as well, Fred can play in midfield, I think that would be ideal. But we need 2, whoever they are, whether it's Fabinho and Fred or not, we need 2, especially if Fellaini is leaving. Suvajit, thanks for the comment. Dalraj says Sandro for Blind, Darmian for Munier. Munier. That, who do you mean? United, obviously, Darmian has been linked with the move to Juventus. We discussed that in MUFC Rumour Rater, and you can go and check that after this. But yes, Juventus seem to be in for Darmian. Could we work Alex Sandro into the deal? Obviously, we'd have to throw money on top of it, but it would be an ideal move for Manchester United. We seem to think Jose Mourinho is interested in Alex Sandro. He's definitely interested in bringing fullbacks and a left back into the club. We know that for sure. We can't go into the season with Ashley Young as our first choice. As much as I'd like it to be Luke Shaw, Jose Mourinho obviously doesn't fancy him. And Alex Sandro's not going to the World Cup. Fabinho's not going to the World Cup. These are deals that could get done nice and early. And that's the great thing for us as well. Where do you see Twanzebe playing next season? Says Jakey671. Could it be possible that if Aston Villa get promoted tomorrow against Fulham, that he extends his loan move there and gets a season in the Premier League? That could possibly be ideal for Axel, but we never know as well. I would like to see him come back and get minutes at United ideally, but we don't live in an ideal world, and the pressure's on for Jose Mourinho next season. He really needs to deliver, and probably deliver the title as well. The pressure is on. Liban, thank you for your beautiful comment. I appreciate you, mate. Alex Ferguson wants to see David Alaba, Verratti and Leon Bailey at Manchester United. Do you think we will sign Savic, Fred, Fabinho, with Fabinho playing at right back? I don't think if we sign Fred and Fabinho, we're signing Savic. I don't think that will happen at all. Damaso already reported on that, where he said Jose Mourinho doesn't want to really spend 100 million euros on Milinkovic, who could possibly end up being a backup. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, hey, he shouldn't be a backup and all that. But if we're going to sign someone like Fred and play him, and Matic plays, Pogba plays, so then I can see where that kind of aspect comes from. And do you spend Pogba money on someone that isn't going to be starting? I know in this midfield that we've had recently, he'd be starting every single game, but you get what I'm saying. Robert O has joined us late, and he wants me to give you a quick recap. I can do that for you guys. Apologies to you guys that are watching, and I'm just repeating myself. But for you guys that have joined us late, and there's a fair few, make sure you're hitting that like button. I'll recap. So the talk about Fabinho is coming from Mohamed Bouhafsi, who has reported that Manchester United are in talks with AS Monaco for the move of Fabinho. But of course, no offer has been made yet. Now, the one thing with that worries me is that Atletico Madrid have also been linked with him. Now, of course, if it comes between a shootout, United and Madrid, We got more money with a more ideal club to play for. I think for most players should be. I think we'd get him, but we could be being used. Our name could just be chucked out there so that Atletico Madrid get worried and put more money on the table. So that's a possibility as well. And let's just sit tight on these Fabinho ones and see how that develops. As I said, he's not going to the World Cup, so we got all the time, not in the world, but this summer to sort that one out. As for Fred, the update on him is, obviously we had the talk from Di Marzio yesterday saying that United had a fee agreed for Fred of 50 million euros. But now we've had Fred coming out. It's been reported on Sky Sports and BBC that talks have been ongoing between both Manchester clubs since January, and on Thursday escalated with Manchester United. So there's that possibility there with Fred potentially coming in. He is going to the World Cup, so we would need to get that one wrapped up soon. And not only are those two guys going, potentially coming to Manchester United, those two Brazilians, we could be getting a third if rumours are to believe, with Alex Sandro also linked with the club. So it's an interesting time. It could be a Brazilian revolution for Manchester United this summer. And as Saiful Khan says, thank you to Joe Riley for his service to Manchester United. The under-23 captain was today. I think his contract expired and he went to Bradford City where he's joined. I think they're in League One at the minute. Now Bradford City have got a fantastic left back. I think he's a very good player. Obviously he had a few loan moves which didn't work out too well. But now he's going to the League One side. I think he'll get regular football there at Bradford City. Possibly help them get promoted to the Championship. That would be a good start to life for him, wouldn't it? But good luck to Riley out there at Bradford. I hope he does well. Fosu Mensah says Kushagra. Fosu Mensah has been talking to Crystal Palace as well. And he said he doesn't know what his future holds, but he hopes his future is at Manchester United and is playing football for Manchester United this season. He also went on to say that he needs to focus on himself, improve as a player, and he will get in the team, and we have no doubt about that. I am following the gossip, but don't believe the vast majority of it, says Marstar. Totally agree with you there as well, Marstar. I always take everything with a little bit of a pinch of salt. I've been burnt far too many times, especially when I was a young lad as well. I remember being really excited about Kluivert joining United, about Batistuta joining United, loads of players like that, and they never happened. But yeah, let's just relax a little bit. But these Fred talks are very, very positive, especially with the player coming out and saying it himself. As for Fabinho, I'm ready to just wait a little bit on them. I'm not gonna, get excited about that one. Adil says, where would Fabinho play for us? He can play at right back and he can play in central midfield as well, in that DM position. What players would you sell? We have got a lot of deadwood in the club that needs to go, says Tom Talbot. I would get rid of Smalling. I wouldn't personally get rid of Daley Blind, but I think he will leave. Darmian, who I think will also leave. Fellaini, who's obviously is off. Those are 4 players that I think would go. Who else is there? I can't really think of anyone else that we're going to let go. Look, Young and Valencia, I don't want them to be starting week in, week out, but they're not going to leave, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't expect them to leave. They're good squad players. Someone says, do you want Willian or Kluivert? I think they're both decent players. I think Kluivert's got a fantastic future ahead of him. But if we're worried about the development of Martial and Rashford, why buy Justin Kluivert? Is that the thing to do? Give Jose Mourinho another youngster whose career has got to develop. I'm not sure that's the right plan. Anthony wants to see Costa on the right wing, and Costa has been linked with Manchester United as well. What do you think about Sandro not being in the Brazil World Cup? Brazil have got a very, very strong team, so it's no surprise. I mean, Fabinho isn't even going, and a lot of people are excited at the prospect of Manchester United signing Fabinho. So it doesn't mean an awful lot, does it? Mata's not going to the World Cup either. Martial's not going to the World Cup. These are players that I love and I want to stay at Manchester United. So going to the World Cup isn't the be all and end all, is it? But yeah, that is the transfer talk today, guys. I do really appreciate all of you who have been involved here on Adam McKola TV. Absolute legends, every single last one of you. And those are the latest transfer rumours revolving around Manchester United. Fabinho is believed to be in discussion. Well, he's not in discussions. United are in discussions with Monaco says Mohamed Bouhafsi of RMC in France. Some of you guys say he is credible, although I don't know that personally, and I would hold tight because Atletico Madrid are believed to be linked with him as well, and anything could happen. We could be being used, so let's hold tight on that one. Fred has come out and confirmed Manchester United have been in talks with his agent for a move, and something could happen on that very soon, as it escalated on Thursday. Nothing official out yet, apart from the fact that Joel Riley has left the club and joined Bradford, and I'd like to wish him a very, very successful transfer. I hope he does well, and I hope he helps Bradford to a promotion. Anyway, guys, thank you very much to all of you for watching. It's been another MUFC transfer talk here on Adam McKola TV. If you want more transfer talk, I've got lots of videos up for you already, and you can go and check out the first in a new series, MUFC Rumour Rater #1. It's up right now. Go and check that out, and for now, I'm out of here.